but I figure I'll clear up a couple things. One is that the mic I'm using is literally a headset mic, and I do have a mute button on it. It's just that I never think to use it when I'm about to sneeze. You know, kind of the bodily reaction is a little quicker than my conscious thought. You know, I'll try and do it in the future. So I wasn't aware that it was being picked up even when it was, you know, up near... Because I at least try and reposition the mic. But anyway, aside from that, the reason I'm the type of gamer who I will go around and do all the little side mission stuff before progressing with the main quest when possible. Primarily because, well, I mean, I grew up playing like the old JRPGs on Super Nintendo, where once you passed a certain point, you were locked out of the previous content entirely.
I don't have your money. Come on, Barry.
Now, this was before the open world system became really popular.
Malevolence and trickery.
So, yeah, that's why I usually go around and something... And honestly, a game like this, it kind of benefits you because you're able to figure out, okay, so-and-so is... You're able to find out more information by talking to people. Oh, wow, that is a very large church.
I cannot enter.
Oh. There's Nathan, I think. Or Richard Nethercott. But, yeah, in the future I will... Oh, Darius Petrescu's letter. My dearest, most beloved children, I am so sorry you have not heard from me for a few months. The situation in London has been difficult. I know it may sound selfish and silly when you, my children, are still living in a country consumed by war, but there is also a war going on here in England. A war against poverty and against injustice. This is a war I intend to fight despite my advanced years. This is why I'm writing it to you today. I won't be coming back to Romania. That probably means I won't see you again before I die. Don't be sad, my darlings. You are grown up now, and you have children of your own. You know the sacrifice we sometimes must accept to make the world a better place. This is one I must make now, to feel useful one more time. I wish you a long and happy life. Kiss my grandchildren for me, and remember that your father loves you all the way from this cold, damp country. I am, as ever, your loving father, Darius Petrescu.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
I'm gonna try and find an alternate path on that one, because invoking the guy's kids is... Oh, that's a bit of a... That's an emotional low blow. Especially if I can find another way to
You are
do it.
blinded by your false faith. Imprisoned by
Let's see. Oh, okay, this one is unlocked. That stung a little. Hey, more quinine. I did need that. Let's see, quarantine influenza sign. What was a fruit stand set up here? I mean, this is a little out of the way. Maybe not. Or at least not as out of the way as I figured it'd be.
Desertion and despair.
I'm opening the other gate first. Okay, apparently he's got quite the crush on Camellia the Mute Girl.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
I gotta say the haircuts could use a little... Oh, hey, I can actually address this cold.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health. But I appreciate your concern, sir.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
That's the silence of fear. Peaceful silence. Really?
That's quite an unusual way to speak about the epidemic. And very inappropriate, I must say.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear doctor.
You're not wrong.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
No hint resulted from the whole, family despising you?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it?
Rugged charm.
Stirring and challenging.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
You know that guy comes from a very affluent family. I'm trying to think of who would... Yeah, actually, oh lord, the prostitute. She basically lambasted either him or the reporter for basically treating them as a sideshow. Like, yeah, you don't understand us enough to write about us just by coming and visiting.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir, Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Camellia is like a muse to Richard Nethercott, who sees her as a locked mystery. Eesh. Yeah, putting her on a pedestal much, buddy? I mean, geez, you're not even recognizing them as human at that point.
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Perhaps
Okay.
you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
Yep. He lives uptown. Yeah.
Did you know the Mute Florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir.
Yep.
For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her.
Well-
Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
A little presumptuous on your part, given you haven't even, like, approached her, or even observed her beyond just watching her walk, apparently.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
I suppose he's at least honest about it?
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of him.
Pembroke Hospital, actually.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Okay, so he's a communist. Okay, I think that will be the angle I go with.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Did I...
Flower of Whitechapel. An
Okay,
angel
I feel bad for that, even if I, you know, maybe shouldn't necessarily, but
Some of us
I just managed to destroy a tombstone by running. Not exactly high... Editor refusal letter. Okay, not sure why I wasn't highlighting the correct one. Let's see, so it was for... Here we are. Richard Nethercott. Oh, hang on. Wrong one. Here's the correspondence. Dear Mr. Nethercott, thank you for sending your book of poems, Songs from the Defeated City, which we found as interesting and profound as we told you the first time we received it. Alas, in the terrible times our country is currently facing, you must understand that such a title would be totally inappropriate for any publication. Thus, since you still refuse to change your title and demand the full publication or none of your work, I'm sorry to inform you, I'm pretty sure is the word they were looking for there, inform you that Sycophant Publishing chose the second option. With kindest regards, A.G. Morris. Has never succeeded in poetry.
Good evening,
Okay.
Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
It seems like the animations are a little more lively here for some reason.
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
You don't seem to suffer from poverty.
Still, You don't seem to suffer from poverty.
With thanks to my parents, actually.
Yep.
I'm afraid I would not be able to live on my own without their help.
You seem embarrassed.
Someday I hope to proudly offer my first publication to my parents. Until that day, I'll remain the failure of a son they have to support.
Yeah, I can relate a little too strongly to that, honestly.
I'll leave you alone.
Let's see. Well, let's see. Let's see how Camellia reacts to being told she has something of an admirer in him. If she reacts at all.
Hello again, miss. Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia.
Buddy, choose some different words when talking to her. You're talking to a mute woman and you're saying, tell me about this.
Very well.
I mean, good God. I mean, you're a doctor. Have some tact. I mean, there's gotta be some way in there. Actually. Nope. I was thinking maybe I could draw my weapons and slash it down, but apparently not. Oh. Okay, maybe he'll have something
Good
about...
evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Well, probably not, but... Nope.
Goodbye, Miss.
Wrong social circle. And actually, that's a nice little way for them to have done it, too, was... Every group has, like, a social circle, so... Let's see. Those two kind of relate to each other. Those two, they're on their own. Those three relate to each other. Those two relate to each other. He's on his own. Well, Oh, hopefully that doesn't mean I'm gonna find his... I think apprentice is a bit too strong of a word, but protege? Yeah, I'm afraid I'll find his protege dead. Alright, I'll head to
I don't know what.
I'll head to Petrescu's house now. Actually, I'll see...
Good evening, Christina.
Change your
Okay,
mind,
Christina.
Mr. Reed?
I feel bad about having just referred to her as the prostitute
Goodbye.
earlier, but I'm not great at remembering names. I'll admit that.
We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake. I prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way.
Who's his father?
Dreams are soaked with gloom.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rob this house.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Okay, Harry Peterson. Okay. Wait. What? His father's Joe, apparently. And no treatments for fatigue.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me?
Frail constitution, also
My father
often
is
sick.
an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
Fair point. Well, you do have a place to call home at
You
least.
have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says.
Oh.
Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Oh. Okay, that's a bit of news.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
Goodbye, young man.
Sounds about
There's only
right.
pain and suffering in this world.
And it's one of those where I want to dig for clues, but I don't want to loot the place. Okay, shillings on the table, will not take those. There we go. Oh. If you ever suspect someone to be a vampire, don't try to kill it yourself. You have no chance. Instead, contact me or try to inform a professional vampire killer. These men and women are rare, but they know what to do against these evil creatures. It even seems that some of them are working together under the name of the Guard of Prywin, a paramilitary organization dedicated to the eradication of the vampires in London. They are your friends. You are not alone. Solutions exist. Be smart, spread the word. Clarence... Here we are. Clarence Crossley.
Pain and suffering in this world.
Very mournful violin. The safe under the
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Oh! Huh. Alright, Colossus Joe.
You again? What do you want this time?
Let's see if I... Okay.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Well,
Goodbye,
maybe I can
Mr.
talk
Peterson.
to Lewis about it. See if he knows anything about his wife or son.
something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile. Not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining.
He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him exactly?
But despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Yeah, that much was kind of obvious, and
Goodbye for now.
didn't really give me much insight, unfortunately.
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always been wretched.
And he's taking a leak against the building. Alright. I'm just hoping that Samuel doesn't wind up dead here.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have
Okay.
conviction.
That was a nice subtle.
All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Alright, I'm not gonna steal money from here. I'll see what collectibles there are, but... Oh, okay, there's one. Antique figure of the Vicolocus? Letter of refusal letter. Oh, yeah, it was one of the collectibles. Where are the collectibles, actually? Here we are. The antique figure of the Vicolocus. Of my many journeys, I believe I was the most amazed by my exploration of the Mediterranean Isles, and particularly the island of Santorini, searching for traces of vampire presence in these sunburnt lands. Herodotus himself refers to the island in his 4th book, and I'm personally convinced that there are many mysteries to be unveiled in this part of the world. Who knows that even today, the island of Santorini is still considered by some as the most vampire-infested place in the world, way more than the Carpathians, and that its inhabitants are considered as specialists of the vampire hunt, or the hunt for Vicolocus, as they call this creature. According to the local myths, the Vicolocus is a dead person who does not decay, and who can show a vermilion complexion as long as he is gorged with fresh blood. He cannot enter a house without knocking and getting a response. Garlic makes him flee, which we know is wrong. Well, he does not consume under the sun, but his skin blackens. He can change into wolf and other animals. What struck me the most is that the same name exists, with small variations from Mediterranean Sea to the Balkans. The Greeks call him Vicolocus, the Bulgarians and Macedonians name him Varkolak or Varkolak. The Serbians call him Vukodlak. Yes, Vukodlak, a name so similar to the Vulkod we already know, my dear brothers. Just to write the few words now gives me the shivers. I'm personally convinced that we are here confronted to some of proto-vampire. I'm assuming they meant to say we are confronted with some sort of proto-vampire. Maybe they're a missing link between the modern vampires and the creatures that came before them. If God allows me enough time, I wish one day to go back to the Santorini island and find the trail of this antique and forgotten figure. Usher Taltree, Primate of St. Paul.
It's locked, all right.
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
Yeah, I might be able to do a little favor to... Oh yeah, Nethercott.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane.
Like myself and many people in this area. Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever, too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family.
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Oh, okay. Gives me a bit of insight as to...
Tell me everything.
I do not believe...
Okay, not sure why that's still blue.
Did you refuse to publish Richard Nethercott's previous works, Darius?
Yes, his manuscript is as pompous as he is starched. Now there's a man who loves the sound of his own voice.
You could have told him so.
As a great writer recently said, politeness is the most acceptable hypocrisy.
Well, he's not wrong.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu?
I already know the answer to
Children
this
or
one.
grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead.
Oof.
As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate your trust.
This war won't last forever.
I
Did
already
you ever
know the
think
answer
of
to this
returning
one,
to your
too.
country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
I wouldn't exactly say that is a combat medic. Oh. Oh yeah, I know everything about him. And I have a distinct feeling that if you ever take out the pillar of the community, the rest just collapses just about outright.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Okay. So let's see, not taking the shillings. And granted, I don't do this in every single game, but this one is kind of hitting you over the head. Well, not hitting you over the head, but definitely utilizing, like, you should care about these people a lot more than quite a few others. Oh, it's just a vacant door. or in, yeah, vacant door just kind of laying against the wall there. And here's the dispensary. Ooh. Yeah, they are not looking great. Clovis. Oh, nice. Yeah, and honestly, I mean, that's part of why I'm raiding this stuff, is so that I can make material, or I can make medicines for people. Huh, thought I saw a glint over here. Well, apparently I did, it was just not the glint I figured it was.
Can you hear my voice?
Letter to Nurse Crane. My dear Dorothea, when you read this letter, I will be on the boat that will take Anton and me back to Brasov. England was not for us, and I confess I cannot wait to see again the proud hills of Transylvania. As soon as we are there, I promise I'll light a candle in the Black Church, and pray for you to survive this terrible epidemic. I know that you do not agree with this decision, and that you are determined to be more useful by helping our comrades exiled in the East End. But Anton cannot wait to return to our beloved country and see our long-awaited revolution bloom. He is my husband, I will stay by his side. I know we had our arguments and our fights. I know you would have wanted me to stand by your side and help you manage this clinic of yours. But now that I'm leaving England, be assured that if anything would happen to you, if you ever were in great trouble or danger, I would come back immediately to London, with or without Anton. Please think of me as much as I think of you. I am your affectionate sister, Theodora. I thought I had that established already. Oh, no, that was Pippa's letters I'm thinking about.
I need help!
Right away.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Aspirin and salicin, you say? Why not some warm milk and a kiss on the cheek? Where are the quinine salts?
Tried buying, borrowing, even stealing. There's none to be found, Doctor.
I could have sworn...
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
Emergency tracheotomy.
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
Fair enough. Yeah, emergency tracheotomy.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor.
Now, that was a bit of a missed
He's
opportunity.
still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
Oh, crap.
I can't see.
It's the bloodlust. Calm down. Focus.
I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
Oh, crap. Cardiac massage.
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along?
Should have called for epinephrine, apparently. Crap. Or maybe both of them were anachronistic.
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was
Probably.
not an influenza-induced
Actually,
seizure.
yeah.
I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
So I have to wonder, is that a fission mailed moment where you're guaranteed to not succeed regardless of what you do? I am glad I didn't take the or drink the blood, though.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners.
Locked.
To what do I owe this courtesy? I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Hey, she finally washed her hands, although she's still wearing the bloody apron.
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
Why not just ask?
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Okay, so she's misunderstanding the situation. But you can't exactly tell her the truth. Okay, that's an interesting moral quandary, because she, from her perspective, she's absolutely in the right. I mean, she thinks that Lady Ashbury is just doing it for fun.
The end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
Well, he knows the hunger, just not the typical hunger. Actually, do vampires in this setting, are they able to eat non-blood sources? Like even just to keep up appearances?
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
Sorry about that, bumped the mic with my thumb.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
No. I'm going to trust that you... You know what? Yeah.
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. all gone.
Interview with the vampire. Soon suffer the consequence of your action. Oh boy. The hell was that? Shit.
It's mine! I'll take it!
Bastards!
Christ! He's dead! We have to stop it!
Okay, so apparently you burn until you heal yourself, from the look of it. Okay, can I go up and talk to Dorothea again and let her know, yeah, we have to get out of here and try and do it safely? Damn it. Okay, is Darius alright still? Because, I mean, he acts as gatekeeper here, so what'd they do to him?
Look at it! Vicious bugger! I'll kill it! All mine, vermin!
Ow. Well, they managed to knock him back with that one. Okay. Darius, you okay?
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed. Come on in. Yes?
Okay, I seriously can't ask him anything about the Prywin coming in here?
Tell me everything.
I do not...
Goodbye.
Good lord, that seems like a bit of an oversight there. Or at least a missed opportunity for him to wonder, for them to flesh out the world a little bit more and have you ask, okay, what the hell happened here? I mean, admittedly, when I picked the charm option, I just figured it was going to be a matter of you will forget everything you know about Lady Ashbury, but you can continue your work here and helping the people that need it. Not, you will forget even doing this stuff. If it boiled down to that, I would have just tried to... I would have tried the top left option. Which was similar, but by no means the same. Her robe, or her apron is caught in a bit of a cycle there.
It's locked, all right.
Crap, and they killed every single person in here. Well, they are officially on my shit list since they don't give two craps about anyone that doesn't fit with them.
Science fails you. This elixir will give you faith again.
Stealing drugs from the sick and suffering. Me, I'll not die.
Good evening, Benji. Can I help you?
I'm afraid.
A gun?
Okay, so where's my little hideout here? Okay, northeast of her. Oh yeah, that's right. Under this little overpass. And the problem is, I don't think I'm going to be a high enough level to actually take on the vampire, or whatever I might encounter on the way to Samuel, without resting and leveling up. But at the same time, I'm not sure if he'll survive me leveling up. Oh, okay, I can actually get the bronchitis one, which I'm pretty sure one person needs. May as well do a couple then. Oh yeah, and I can recycle stuff, I think. Oh, and upgrade. Let's see. Good handle part. Okay. I've got plenty of salicin. Quinine I could use more of. Plenty of clove essence, plenty of vials. And plenty of ferrous. Okay, now that I have... Oh. Oh boy. And they're feeding on another skull. Okay. Well, that was interesting. I didn't anticipate that. Blood is addiction. Vampires drink blood. That may be their most specific trait, the sinister peculiarity of... This may be their most specific trait, the sinister peculiarity of their condition, if I may say so. Okay, that was a bit of a jumble of words there. But for me, this is not the most important characteristic of their diet. What has always fascinated me, since I started to study them, is the imperative need for blood they seem to endure. They want it more than anything, and this desire can drive them to expose themselves. And when they drink it, they seem to feel some sort of short trance. An ecstatic epiphany, said to me once a Volkod I interviewed in Moscow. I'm convinced that this is an essential element to understand the nature and condition of the vampires. Pardon me, I had to mute myself. I remembered to mute myself for the sneeze, so there you go. They don't drink blood because it sustains them, but that it offers them ecstasy. Vampires are addicted to blood, all of them. It is part of their nature, and those among the immortals who refuse to submit to their appetite by the strength of their will only are never freed from this addiction. Usher Talltree is a very important figure, apparently. Yeah, I mean, abandoned houses I'm fully willing to take the shillings out of. Because You know, if it's not me, it's gonna be another scavenger. Alright. Okay, that was where... Oh, at first I thought that was electrified, and I was trying to figure out, wait, what? Curfew. Not opened after 9 p.m.
I cannot enter.
Okay. Oh, wow. So I actually need to go all the way back to the hospital for this one. Well, I can report my success anyway. As well as talk to... I'm trying to think who it is. Harriet Tharlow, I think? I'm starting to get some of the names, but even that one I'm not sure of.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boy! Get back in the grave! Crush the leech, boy! You'll pay for this! Burn it, boys!
Okay. I lucked out on the timing of that. Okay. Genuinely surprised I managed to pull that off. There we go. Okay. So, why did they leave deliberate? Oh, yeah, just to lure me out, I'm assuming. But that wasn't exactly luring so much as just ambushing, because there was no other... To my knowledge, there's no... Yeah, there's literally no other path back to Pembroke. At least not that isn't shut off, anyway. Likely a fair bit more difficult to travel through. Ferocious Skull? Okay, I need to look real quick. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think there's... I was trying to remember what all the resistances are. Two of them are rather obvious. The melee and ranged, but the one that looks like a shadowy face is quite a bit different than...
Will this shift never end?
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
the blood.
Any
And I'm
news
not
about my operation?
I'm not sure if it's a matter of...
Goodbye for now.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Good evening, Doctor.
And good evening to...
Oh, hang
Goodbye.
on. Unfinished letter. My dear children, Sorry I did not write to you before, but it hurts like hell just to write these few words on bloody paper. Don't worry. Daddy will go out of the hospital as soon as the doctors fix his arm. In the meantime, if you need something, go see Mr. Chadwick at the construction site and tell him you are Harvey Fiddick's children. You remember Robert Chadwick, the big guy with a mustache who helped me repair the house doors last spring? Go see him and ask for a few bob. He won't refuse to spare you a few. I'm sorry I can't work anymore for now, but we'll figure out something as soon as I'm out. Don't worry, everything will be fine as soon as Daddy's arm is strong again. As soon as the doctors have fixed my arm, Oh, okay, won't be able to feed his family.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr.
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
I really hope I don't find her body as a vampire. I
Goodbye
really
for
hope.
now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I mean, that'd be a weird one if I did, and she still held affection for him. I mean, it'd be an interesting twist, but maybe a little contrived.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay, I did find... Here we are.
Your medical report says you're not affected by the Spanish flu. What do you think of that, Mortimer?
Does it make me happy? Not in the slightest. If it was up to me, I would have left this place long ago. I know I don't belong here.
And why do you think you don't belong here?
I know the staff have more important things to do than look after me. There's plenty of patients here who need their attention.
How painful.
So painful.
I have to...
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor.
I've read your son's medical report, Beatrice. It's not the flu or anything life-threatening. What has you so worried?
He was at death's door when he was brought here. I just want him to be better as soon as possible.
He's not out of the woods yet, you know. He might need to stay here longer than expected.
Take care of him then, Dr. Reed. People here only seem to focus on contagious patients. I worry my poor Mortimer will be neglected.
Well, I haven't neglected him or you so far.
Goodbye, Miss...
And yeah, it's one of those where...
You on our side, Dr. Reed. I know that Pembroke will prevail and survive this epidemic.
It's one of those where part of me is tempted to try biting someone, but I don't want to run the risk of, you know, draining them. If that's the only option is, you know, if you bite a single person, you drain them entirely.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
I have made inquiries about the men who were tracking you, Miss Howcroft.
I did not expect a mortal to have
Thelma
this sort of
Howcroft.
courage. Speak, Doctor. Why are they hunting me down?
It was a misunderstanding. These hunters were in fact looking for a very different creature, but they mistakenly put their sights on you.
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters have discovered me, but they don't know what I'm capable of.
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal, I think you should assume a low profile and just quietly disappear into the shadows.
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal. Take this as a reward for your time. Perhaps I will allow you to drink deep of my blood. One day.
Thank you. I'll keep that proposition in mind.
Okay.
I'll leave you.
Let's see. Huh. Okay, so apparently I've kind of done all I can with those two. Oh yeah, Lady Ashbury. Oh boy. That was quick.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
He trusted you.
You killed him. He trusted you. And you killed him.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, your ladyship. The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady, the blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Yeah?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
I figured the voice in the head was the precaution.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
Missing an L on that one.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
Otherwise, you'd have had
I'd
quite a
like
few
to
people.
avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
So... wait, the insane woman was right?
A vampire? Is that what I am?
Jonathan, you know very well that that's the case.
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
Yes, the old, you know, all Dalmatians are dogs, but not all dogs are Dalmatians.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
Well, aside from the blood drinking, obviously.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad?
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Almost never? Huh. Could his maker have been attacked while feeding? And some of the blood gotten into Jonathan's mouth?
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain, more than likely it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Okay, so it is Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous.
Yep.
You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society. And like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
Yeah, they haven't exactly been subtle in this. I mean, heck, one of the nurses have been approached about it.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
Very well, but I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London vampire society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
I can understand why the Guard of Priwen is...
Why did you save me in the...
a little antagonistic of them.
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
What type of vampire is a skull?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Skulls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
Okay, so I think that's it.
I bid you farewell.
I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
Before I do that, I'm heading back to Whitechapel. Because I forgot that I had brewed up some medications that I need to give people yet. Let's see, I've got one for bronchitis, which I'm trying to think of who that's for. Oh boy. Not up there. Not up there. Level 18 skull, so yeah, no. I mean, heck, I've been pushing my luck with taking on beings twice my level.
It's locked, all right.
Actually, figure I'll put the marker there and come back and unlock it from the other side. Hopefully. Alright, so either way, it seems like her entire hospital essentially got wiped out by the vampire hunters, or by the pre-one. Or Pry-one. Okay, so up over this way. There we are. There we go. Unlock the door, so I'm now got a much straighter shot into Whitechapel. Alright, so let's see here. Don't know migraine recipe yet. She's recovering, he's recovering. Harry Peterson is... Okay. So I've got to visit Petrescu and Harry Peterson.
You know the game, you pay for peace of mind.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on.
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Sure. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Okay, I was thinking like, wait, what? Nothing. Large box of pills. I mean, there doesn't seem to be any money stashed in these drawers, so... I mean, the money is the stuff I'm leaving. Okay, finally managed to top myself off.
So, may I ask you...
I'm not bothered.
Oh yeah, the... fatigue.
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
So basically he might be
Goodbye,
suffering
young
from
man.
clinical depression. At least that's kind of what I'm gleaning from it.
Even my dreams are so...
I should never have taken up my father's business.
Alright, over to Petrescu, and... he better have something to say about this whole thing.
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Because, I mean...
Yes?
Dorothea just had the entire hospital wiped out. And nothing. That was a heck of a missed opportunity.
Do you
there.
need some help, Mr. Petrescu?
I am very tired, but that is all.
Well, I think you do. Take this, and you'll feel better.
Free drugs from an English doctor. It must be my lucky day.
Goodbye.
Okay, so I've got a couple that have migraines, but I don't know the medicine for that yet. And she's probably still, yep, kind of sitting hypnotized. Yeah, actually there's web videos with the situation with Dorothea. There's a YouTube channel, Door Monster. Great entertaining videos, all original content. I highly recommend checking them out. But one of them was dealing with what they dubbed dialogue shrubs, where the, I'm pretty sure it was a reference to Skyrim and the dialogue trees there, but it was, brief description of, like a one-word description of what was going to be said, and then entirely... Oh, okay, here I am. But then the outcome of it was entirely, a major departure from what actually he had intended to do. Such as, I think the final one was asking for directions and saying, "Can you tell me how to get to blank?" and you bleep 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 bleep. And this was after threatening the guy's life, when he was trying to just be a little more aggressive about it.
And good evening to you too, my good...
Oh, okay.
I'll leave you.
Actually, do I know more about Camellia at this point? Christina recovering. Benjamin Palmer is a migraine, but I don't know the recipe. And there are some residents of Whitechapel I haven't even met yet. Oh yeah, this is where I met the preacher. Or fought the preacher, rather. So, wrong gate. Okay, so it's coming from this way. Okay, this way that I came from. Kinda wish I could actually zoom in here, but... oh well. Let's see, up here's... no, I got ambushed further back, I think. Oh no, it was right up here that I got ambushed. So vampires can enter unoccupied houses uninvited? I mean, yeah, a lot of the other ones tended to be the, they had a hole blasted open, so it wasn't, strictly speaking, a house at that point. Alright, I'm gonna see Dr. Swansea and see whether he's got anything to say at this point. Apparently not. Okay. I've done as much as I can in terms of medicating everybody. So I'll analyze the medicine, rest to level up. Light stamina serum.
Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Skulls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu?
Oh.
I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
That wouldn't be good. Didn't anticipate this
Evening,
loading.
Edgar.
That loading
Could I
screen.
get your professional opinion?
Please speak, but I have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu, it's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stove, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're
focus.
not seeing here. But it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
City first.
I admit it did occur to me. Blood seems to be the common factor in all of this.
I totally agree. We're in uncharted territory here. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but imagine the possibilities.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan.
Okay.
But as I said, I needed to talk to you.
Regarding?
I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
Yeah.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
Jonathan, just fess up to him that, you know, you had
I need to talk
accidentally
to you,
killed your sister in
Please
the
do so.
bloodthirst.
Nurse Crane will not be returning to Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, really? Did something happen? She seems such a very capable woman.
She was blackmailing Lady Ashbury. Thought she was murdering patients as some sick upper-class game.
Nurse Crane was playing a dangerous game. She's lucky Lady Ashbury abhors violence.
So you manage a hospital financed by a vampire?
Yes, Pembroke was founded by Lady Ashbury. She's also our largest donor.
How?
If I may
Yeah.
inquire, how did you meet her?
Well, Jonathan, she sought me out and offered me the position. It's been a very profitable partnership for both parties.
Wait, how are you making a profit on a hospital that's
A convenient yet expensive way to have a fresh supply of blood on hand, day and night, don't you think?
All vampires drink blood by nature. Me, I praise the lady's exemplary moral fiber.
Restraint might have been the better phrasing there.
Do you know anything about the vampire hunters in the East End?
Without a doubt, it's the Guard of Priwen. Zealots to the last man.
Where do they come from?
Once they shared the Brotherhood's ideology on non-intervention, but they concluded vampires were a scourge.
They're definitely well organized and equipped.
They're extremely dangerous, and not to be trifled with. To them, you're a feral beast, and I, your accomplice.
Well, they're not wrong about the second part, I suppose.
We'll talk later.
Not 100% wrong, anyway. And you've given me a commission here, so... You are aiding and abetting. Especially in regards to Lady Ashbury. Okay. First time I've rested in quite a while, so... Oh boy, I've got some, let's see. Bullets. Increase the blood capacity again. Okay, I see how it is. You've got to fill up that meter in order to gain a level. So the level cap is not as high as I had initially assumed. I'm kind of not using the Shadow Veil, honestly. Or coagulation. Shadow Mist has been very handy. So let's see. Level 12 required. Oh, holy crap, I went up to level 11 with that one. Ultimate. Okay. No. Oh god. Oh god, that is... Okay, shadow damage. That's what it is. So let's see, I've got... Shadow is kind of my go-to there, so I guess Blood Cauldron would be it. Oh, man, that is a mean one, though. Oh, 600 shadow damage, 400 blood damage. Some abilities are so powerful that even vampires fear them. Blood Cauldron is one such ability. The vampire concentrates their power on one target and makes the victim's blood boil. Through this process, the vampire will regenerate and absorb part of the target's blood. The vampire will release their prey after a few seconds, leaving damaging blood cells within them. These cells will continue to impact their host before exploding after a short time. The blast will affect any living creature near the host. Because of its dark nature, this type of ability cannot be used too often. Okay, it says that for every single ultimate. Controlling blood is one thing. Modifying the blood cells is another. Let's see. Increased range and damage, or it'll stay in a single spot. .400 shadow or 30 shadow. Yeah, I think I'll do the increased range and damage. Oh, don't have enough anyway. In which case, I think I'll go with... Yeah, increase the stamina again. And increase body again. Because it's going to be a while before I can level up again. Or before I feel comfortable leveling up. Let's see the impacts. And I'm hoping that Samuel does not die. Disappearances in Whitechapel. It has reached the point where witnesses have to queue before recounting their testimonies to an officer. Although this phenomenon appears to be a nationwide occurrence, the statements of the last 24 hours have converged around a single area in the country. Whitechapel, London. Yes, once more the despised and loathed East End is left to struggle on its own. Continuously overlooked by the authorities, even while numerous families from this district report the unexplained disappearance of relatives and neighbors. What has happened to these missing individuals? Where are they? The only link between them seems to be their health and their need for urgent medical attention. Until recently, it was a local secret that the only place to get help was a discreet dispensary managed by unidentified Good Samaritans. But the place now seems to be closed, and no one has any news from that facility. Did the missing persons go to a more secret place? Have they been discreetly moved to a more official service? One day soon, the London City Council's Board of Health will have to answer for this new mystery. Missing? What? Why? God damn it. Alright, so healthy here.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Is there any way for me to actually water the plant? I'm gonna have to look that up before I do anything else, and... Huh.
I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary, I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened to us. I swear.
Okay. I'm gonna have to track down Dorothea. Well, I'm now level 13. Because that bugs me. It really does. Partially because I didn't realize that what I was doing would tell her to... I mean, the reason I picked that option to begin with was in the hope that she wouldn't shut down the hospital. She would just forget completely about the blackmail and keep trying to struggle on. And actually, EW, if I'm not mistaken, is... Here. Nope, Clayton Darby. Huh.
Good evening, Christina.
Change your mind, Mr. Reed?
What do you know about Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
2 girls I know went to the dispensary yesterday. Nobody has seen them since. I worry about them, in case bad things happen.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try tracking down what happened to the dispensary first, before moving on to the cemetery. Because, good God, that was not my intention, at all.
Good evening, Mr. Whitaker.
It's far.
Have you recent news of...
If you propagate the devil's work, you'll perish by the devil's work. Such is the law of the Lord.
I have heard...
Ooh. Him I am sincerely thinking about biting.
Take a look. Don't be afraid.
Partially as a test, and partially because if I happen to drain him entirely, I wouldn't exactly feel that guilty over it. I hate to say it, but that's the case. The guy is a... Oh boy. Is Darius missing too, then? Missing... No, he's around somewhere. Wait. No. No, she became a vampire? Damn it, that wasn't what I meant to do. Have fun. Oh, that must be spring. Oh, no. God damn it. I didn't mean for that to happen. I really didn't mean for that to happen. Damn it. Damn it! Oh! Damn it! For a different reason entirely. Cat's laying on my microphone cord. Or headset cord. I mean, I am gonna have to look up as to whether that would have happened regardless. Because I wouldn't be too surprised if that were the case. But
You look so pale, my lord.
Please, I don't have your money. Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
and I'm gonna have to live with the consequences, I realize that, but god damn it. I mean, especially this far in, I'm not gonna restart yet again to be able to correct that. Quinine and... oh. Just can't believe that happened. Wait. So she stayed dead and I kept the key, apparently. Treatment for headache. Medical voucher. Just to kind of grind in the whole, yeah, you fucked up. Beautiful. God damn it. I mean, is it because I left her in the hypnotic trance, or... I mean, would that have happened anyway? Yeah. I am gonna have to look online about that. And like I said, I'm not gonna restart again because That'd just be way too cheap.
Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Again, that wasn't the intention. Alright, fine, Camellia.
Good evening, Doctor.
Have you any news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
It appears the dispensary is now a major source of contagion in Whitechapel. Someone should do something about it, but no one can.
Goodbye.
Oh, I took care of it. Wait, where's Camellia and Darius? Oh, there's Camellia. Oh, picking flowers.
Hello, Darius. Very well.
Whitechapel is not just...
Good evening.
And good evening to...
Have you recent news of...
Not at all.
I'll leave you alone.
Alright. And on that depressing note, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time.